What's good, YouTube? It's your boy here at First Timer Auto coming at you with another video. Today's video is going to be about this dang power steering making crazy noise again. What we're going to do is we're just going to review all the quick steps that I've done in the past that were more temporary. We've got one more fix that we're going to make a quick DIY video today, and hopefully this video will help you out if you've got squeaky power steering. So most likely we just have some air in the power steering system, but first thing that you always want to do if you hear that squealing noise is check the power steering fluid level. There's the power steering reservoir right there, and you can see that it's pretty much at the max. So power steering looks good. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lift the front tires and try and get the air out of the system by moving the wheel from crank to crank. I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so we've got the car jack now. Remember, before you jack the car, always block off the back tire just so the car doesn't move, just for a little safety. But now we've got the car jacked up here, and what we want to do is you want to come over to the power steering reservoir and go ahead and pull this cap off. It probably will drip a little bit, so if you want to keep that clean, just have a towel or something like that near you. Then you want to get into the car and put the key into the on position. Don't start the car, but just key into the on position. Okay, inside the car, you do want to turn the key to the on position. You don't want to start the car, but you do want to turn it to on. So if you can see, it's probably not going to be too visible, but you see a 0, a 1, a 2, and a 3, or Roman numerals 1, 2, and 3. So you want to just turn that to the number 2 spot. So don't click it all the way over to start, but just get that to the on position or the number 2 position. From here, you want to start on the right. So go ahead and spin this wheel to the right. Do not spin too fast because the reservoir or the power steering is actually pushing some of the power steering fluid through the system. So if you move this fast, since we've got the cap off the reservoir, it'll definitely overflow and just spill all over your engine or overflow that reservoir. So go ahead and just do this really slow. Move it all the way to the right. When you get it to the right, don't hold it down to the right. Just get it to the right and then move your way all the way over to the left. Again, nice and slow. And just turn this wheel and then make sure you get a click on the left side. Again, once it goes all the way to the left, don't go too fast. Once it goes all the way to the left, you don't want to hold it down, but you just want to make sure that it gets to that side. And again, don't go too fast because you will spill power steering. And once it stops over there on the right side, again, don't bear it down, just kind of get it over there and then slowly bring it back to the right. Again, nice and slow. And once it clicks all the way back to the right side, that's how you're going to leak the air this manual way out of the power steering system. Hopefully this helps you out. All right, so after each step, you want to go ahead and start the car to see if your quick fix helped at all. So if you pour in any extra fluid, go and put the cap on, start it again. A lot of times if you're low on fluid, that will help. Or if you have air in the system and you need to bleed the air, again, lift those tires, crank to crank to crank, so right, left, right, do it nice and slow so you don't spill out of the reservoir, and then lower the car, start it again, see if that helps. It's helped a little bit, but I've done those steps before in a previous video, so now we're going to try something new, and we're going to go ahead and replace this O-ring in the high pressure hose. Here is the power steering right here. This hose is coming out of the bottom is going to be the low pressure. This one with the silver tubing that comes out of the top there, that's going to be the high pressure. So a lot of times there's a little O-ring inside here that gets cracked or something like that. So when that high pressure is pushing that fluid through, sometimes you'll get some air through there, and that can be that noise as well. So we're going to go ahead and replace that O-ring and see if that helps. So we ordered this new O-ring from the Acura store. It says Honda on it, but we did get it from the Acura store. I think it's the same for some Accords. So I think it was like $2 or $3 as well. So pretty cheap. Go ahead and get that ordered. Make sure you get the genuine OEM part. And then we're going to remove this high pressure hose. It's 2 10mm bolts right there. You should have a towel or something that's going to catch some of the power steering fluid, because it's going to leak a little bit once you pop that out. All right, and you can see that little black ring right there. It's kind of indented in there. It's in like this like a groove. So you can't really just grab it with your fingers and pop it out. So if you have a little knife, or if you have something like that, then you can kind of get in there and pull that thing out. But you want to just you can either cut that or any way that you can. Go ahead and pull that O-ring off, slide the new O-ring on, put a little of that power steering fluid right around the outside of that O-ring, just so the rubber has some kind of lubricant on it and it's not all dry. All right, I needed both hands so I couldn't videotape that, but there's the O-ring off. It's right over there. I didn't use a knife, I just used that little hook. So, and if you do that like I did, it actually slides off easier than I thought. So just be mindful. I almost lost that O-ring down there just because it popped popped off so quick. So just keep right there's the two O-rings, old ones on top, new ones on bottom. I'm not sure if you can tell, but the new one is a little thicker, a little fatter. As they get old, they kind of condense and shrink up a little bit, which is why sometimes that air can leak through there. But go ahead and take that new guy, just roll it up right there, and then again just put your finger into a little bit of that power steering fluid and just wipe it around the outside, so it doesn't stay dry and it doesn't it's not prone to crack once you get a little bit of that fluid on there. So go ahead and get the O-ring on, and then go ahead and slide that up, get the fluid around it, go ahead and push that back down, and then tighten those 10mm bolts back up. And make sure you don't tighten those 10mm bolts too tight, because they do snap pretty easily. Alright, so that's the new O-ring back on there. We're going to try to get this on video with the one hand. Again, just go ahead and get a little bit of fluid right there. Try not to get any on the belt. And then you just want to kind of, oops, sorry about that. You just want to wrap your finger with a little bit of that power steering fluid, and then just get a little lubricant on this O-ring all the way around like that. Once you do that, go ahead and stick this guy back in. Sorry about these camera angles here. And go ahead and wipe everything down, put those 10mm bolts back in. Don't crank the 10mm bolts too tight, because they do snap pretty easily. And then once you've got that down, go ahead and wipe everything down, start the car, and see where you're at. After you've reattached the O-ring, or replaced the O-ring, and reattach the high pressure hose, not a bad idea to go ahead and bleed the air. We did that first, but normally if you change the O-ring, it's not a bad idea to try to bleed the air, just because we pull the high pressure hose off and there's a chance a little air can leak back into the system. So again, raise the front tires. You want to go crank to crank to crank, right, left, right. Remember, just go slowly and smoothly. You want to go slow to efficiently push all the air out of the system, and you want to go you want to go slow so you don't leak any fluid out of the reservoir. You want to go smooth, so with the wheels, when you're turning the wheels, so that you are efficiently pushing all the air out of the system. But this sounds pretty good right now. Hopefully this will be a permanent fix, and I don't have to make another dang power steering noise video on this channel ever again. I hope this helped you guys out. We're going to have some new videos coming out soon. I've got a little time these next few weeks, so we're going to try to pump some content on this video, or on this channel, so please consider hitting that like and subscribe. Hope this helped you guys out, and until we come out with some new videos, stay safe out there, keep turning those wrenches. Thanks, guys.